Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Ozcast.
Okay, Rach, are you ready to go?
Yes.
What are we doing?
I don't know. I thought you knew.
Now, aren't you supposed to be running the show? Which guest have we got?
Don't make me the boss of stuff.
You're the boss of stuff.
Let's wing it.
And go.
Hi, welcome to the This Is My Voice podcast.
The podcast where we discuss all things voice performance and talk to some of the industry's best and brightest talent.
We're your hosts, Rachel Sallis
and Eddie Bai.
Welcome to the This Is My Voice podcast. I'm Rachel Sallis. Unfortunately, Eddie Bai couldn't be here today, but if you'll be gentle, I hope I am a more than adequate host for today. If you can check us out on Instagram, thisismyvoice_pod. And also, you can check us out on the Ozcast Network website and on their YouTube page. We'd love to hear what you think, so please do reach out. This is an educational podcast. We want to hear what your thoughts are, and we want to hear what you want to learn as well. So if you've got any questions that you want us to ask a voiceover performer, we can try our best to get them on the show. And I think getting a broader range of voice actors and more talent on the show, though, you get to hear more stories, and there's multiple ways to skin a cat. So it's brilliant to hear everyone's unique stories of how they got into the industry or how they got to create a certain voice. And a lot of it might be experimentation, which is fantastic, but it's really a fascinating experience, and it's been a really wonderful one for myself and Eddie. So pretty much with this podcast, like a little bit of Q&A, how did the concept come to be? So this is a little bit of a trigger warning because we've got some sensitive material pertaining to this particular question. So I ended up having a bit of a traumatic event in my life where I had a miscarriage or pregnancy of unknown location, which is a bit terrifying for my partner and I at the time. And as a result of trying to heal from that traumatic experience, I needed to do something creative and something really fun, though. And I've always wanted to learn about voiceover actors, and my fun drunk party trick has always been voiceover performances and just doing funny voices. So that's something I really wanted to look into, and I thought, yep, perfect. This is something I can do. And I've got a bit of a background in marketing and PR, and some of the PR agencies I interned at were they actually looked after Mix's PR. So we were looking into promoting podcasts or clients within different podcasts. And also I've got a bit of background as a producer in radio. So a bunch of interests kind of came together and had this Frankenstein idea. And that's where This Is My Voice was created. So I really also drew inspiration from the This Is My Life TV show, which does a profile piece on different celebrities. And there's obviously the fantastic documentary called I Know That Voice, which I'm a huge fan of. Game Changers Radio, again, that I mentioned Craig Bruce earlier. That's one of my favorite all-time podcasts. I highly recommend anyone that's interested in radio to definitely hit that up. That is such a great source of information, and it's super entertaining. So I wanted to create a podcast that was like that, something that really had meat on the bones and was educational but also super fun. I figured with voiceover performance, you can be a bit more goofier, a little bit more sillier, because there's something very freeing about that, and that's the kind of energy I wanted to have for this podcast, which is really awesome, and it piques my interest as well. The other thing that inspired me is the In a World movie by Lake Bell. I would love to have her on the show as well. She does a great Poison Ivy. It's just such an interesting insight into the voice acting world. And with that, and also I Know That Voice, that documentary, it's interesting contrast between something that's fictionalized and something that's factual. I ran it past Sean Craig Murphy. I just went, dude, is this crazy, or do you think this could actually work? And he said it was really interesting. And I kind of did a mock pitch to him, though, with what kind of pretty much a dream board of what we wanted to do for guests and the who, what, when, where, and why of it. And I was thinking about co-hosts, though, and someone that knows a little bit more about the technical aspects of podcasting. I'm not very good with the whole technical aspects of everything, though. I don't know much about the recording side of things. So that's where Eddie was the perfect co-host, because he already does the voiceover workshop with the Australian Radio School. That's brilliant, but that's more advertising based. Many of his students were asking, hey, do you know much about cartoon voiceovers or like video game voices and things like that? And he really couldn't give them a solid answer because he didn't really know a lot. So he figured this was a great way he could explore that side of things with voiceover, and is something that's always interested me, and I'm a massive pop culture nerd, so it was a really good fit. I've worked in radio and I've edited podcasts, though, and I've done a lot of producing work, but I'm not naturally a presenter, as you can probably tell. I'd love to hear if you've got any questions, any suggestions for the podcast, for the next direction we should take. Whether it's like the future of voiceover acting with AI, or a question or a particular guest you want to ask something of or have on the show. We'd love to hear your feedback, Lo, because I just want to say we really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to us and invest in us. It's really opened our eyes to such a fantastic industry. It's something we want to continue learning about, and we'd love for you to take the journey with us. And we really appreciate you being on this journey so far. So there's a lot of exciting things we can do with season 2. I just cast the net out, and I'm just like, oh, look, we're probably never going to get this person or that person, and let's just see where this takes us. And we got a hit back from Billy West where I was like, what? Like, that was really cool. That was really special, and that was actually our the first interview we ever did, so Eddie and I, and I was very, very nervous, but Billy was just fantastic. He was such a sweet man and very kind to us, so he's probably answered these questions like 50 million times, but we wanted to ask something outside the box, and I think you can tell more that was our first episode, so just even by tone, and even my overall performance, you could probably get a clear indicator there. And over time, I built up a bit more confidence. But yeah, and even that first episode, I didn't realize that I was about 2 weeks pregnant with my son, and that was a bit of a nerve-wracking experience. So finding out afterwards with the other interviews, though, that where I had crazy morning sickness, I was like thinking, oh my goodness, like I hope I can get it together, because I'd spend the morning like being really sick, and feeling all raspy. I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to sound like a pack-a-day smoker. So that was really nerve-wracking as well. Because I'm like, oh my goodness, like it's probably not going to be the most professional thing if I have to run out on a guest, though, where I'm like, sorry, I've just got to run to the bathroom. So that was a bit crazy. But I think about 8 weeks postpartum, I ended up recording the Ben Whitehead interview. for that interview, though, I was freshly postpartum and I was just exhausted. I was like, oh gosh, I hope I can keep it together. And it was just fantastic. Like, Ben Whitehead was such a kind human being, and he was really excited about his work, and he really cared about his performance as Wallace, and he just really wanted to do it justice. So it was a very interesting conversation we had on the legacy of Wallace and Gromit, though. And I think that's also the great thing about the voiceover industry and voiceover performance. Like, your voices have no age limits, no gender limits. Like, it's for, like, the performances can be for young and old, like male, female, or whoever. It really does not exclude people. It's fantastic, and it brings people together because people are like, oh my goodness, like, you're doing a cartoon dog? How cool is that? Like, you've got that for a job, or how did they do this and that? And yeah, it's really something cool, like the performance and putting your soul into a character. It's just, I want to thank everyone that was able to be a part of this show as guests. You guys have been amazing, and even all the publicists and everyone that's been a part of that, thank you so much for your kindness and support. We really appreciate it. Pretty much we went back with Eddie to Sean. He thought it was a great idea. I asked, would you be able to mentor us through this process? And he said, yeah, sure. And he already did a fantastic podcast, him and this fantastic chap called Mina, with Everyday Conspiracy Theories. So they were just so wonderful. They gave us such great guidance and support. And other people I should give a shout out that gave us such good guidance and support as well was Tamara Linky. She's also a guest, and the lovely Chanel Franklin. They have got a wonderful podcast, Beautiful Nightmare podcast, and they do such a fantastic job. They are just leave me in stitches. So they're very, very funny women. So she's a real talent. So, and she's from Adelaide, which we had Keith Scott. That was such an interesting historian. He was so fun. Like, I really urge our listeners to listen to that podcast. He was just like a big kid. Like, we got to do the games, so with the voice off, and then we had Bluey's Dan Brum, and he was really interesting. And I think I try to let Eddie take the lead more on that because he has a similar background to Eddie with audio engineering. And Dan was really cool, though, because not only does he organise all the audio for Bluey, which is one of the biggest shows in the world right now. We've had a lot of support from the community. I know the Australian Radio School has been fantastic. They've invested in us as a podcast. We've done their podcast school, which is fantastic, with the lovely Kieran Moffat. And Sean Craig Murphy himself, though, he's a wonderful radio teacher, and the legendary Craig Bruce. So we have just received so much support from them, which is really, really good. And we feel so lucky. We're really blessed. And I can't not mention the wonderful support from the Ozcast Network. Andy Martin, though, got to give him a shout out. He has been such a superb partner with this whole endeavour, and we can't thank you enough. So again, thank you so much for being a part of this journey, and we appreciate all the hard work that you've done for us. So Eddie would, again, like, from both of us, so we both really appreciate your part in our journey. So this is Rachel Sallis signing off. Thank you very much for listening to the Listen My Voice podcast. Bye-bye. Bye. Sayonara, dude.
Oh, bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. See? Bye, precious.
Thank you for listening to This Is My Voice, the podcast about all things voice performance with the world's best voice artists. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave a review and don't forget to subscribe. This episode has been brought to you by the Australian Radio School and delivered to your ears by the Ozcast Network.
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.